Good afternoon, Quadcopter 101 here, and before we get started, I want to give my shout out to my notification squad winners. Today's notification squad winners for the past couple days. I'm sorry, it's the holidays here. I'm trying to catch up here, but we're going to do a twofer. Congrats go to Russell Cloud and Louis Auba. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But both Louis and Russell were both first to say first in one of my videos recently. Via their notifications. They have their notifications turned on, automatic notifications, so that whenever I put out a new video, they know immediately when that video is out there, and they had a chance to come back and say first. And as such, they win a shout out. So congrats to Russell and Lewis. Good afternoon, Quadcopter 101 here, and what I got for you today is a review of a neat new quadcopter, the MJX RC Bugs 8 Pro. This is an upgrade to the Bug 6, folks. An FPV flyer upgrade to the Bug 6. It has several advantages over the previous Bug 6/Bugs 8 that I reviewed about, I don't know, was that almost a year ago? Or 6 months ago? But yeah, it has been upgraded since. And let's go over those features, what we got on this new Bugs 8. Well, first thing, it's got a bigger battery. We now have a 3S battery provided here. 3S 11.1 volt, 1300 milliamp hour, 1300 milliamp hour LiPo battery. So that should give us a lot more oomph over the previous Bug 6. We got tri-bladed props, and we also have larger motors here. These are 2204 1800 kV motors, larger diameter. Should give a lot, some more power over the previous. I forgot what those were. They were also 1800 kV, but they were smaller diameter motors over the previous version. Now, a big thing that this one has that the Bug 6 did not have is that this supposedly has Acro mode, Acro capability. So, you can fly in addition to angle mode, you can fly in Acro mode, and I want to show you how, what they've done. Let me pop off the top so you can see inside here. There is a little pin here that you have to insert a jumper over that comes with this to enable you to fly in Acro capability. It will not do such without this pin in place, so keep that in mind. That's kind of unusual. I don't know why they did that, but there's also a switch on your transmitters that lets you select between Acro and angle mode, but you must have the pin in place to do such. Also, this is the Fpv camera, the C5803, I believe. That comes from MJX RC. You have to install this yourself. Not very hard to do. It's just 3 screws to hold it in place. And this is the pin switches for it. I believe it's 16 channels based on those 3 pin switches. And other than that, that is about it. So those are the upgrades on this. Acro capability, 3S motor, and also bigger motors and tri-blade propellers. So let's put this together. Now what I want to do is go over the transmitter. I want to show you the transmitter, the differences on this transmitter than before. Also notice your front lens is swivelable up and down. I'm going to put it up slightly upward because I want to try Acro flying of this here shortly. But let's go over the transmitter. This is the transmitter for it. It is an upgrade over the previous Bug 6 transmitter in that now you have fake antennas on top. But here, this turns the lights on and off. This button here is used to unlock or lock the motors. You can also use this if the quadcopter is not bound. Turn on the quadcopter, press this button, and turn on this switch here, and that will rebind the transmitter with the quadcopter. You have low and high rates for angle mode, and you can also record on that camera that's inside the quadcopter. It has a slot for a micro SD card, which I've done. I've placed a micro SD card in there, and you can record photos by a quick press or a long press holding down to record videos, start and stop videos. Now remember, I said this has Acro and angle capability. Up position is angle, and if you move it down with that pin inserted on the board, it will fly in Acro. So this is how you switch between angle and Acro. And now next, I have the Pro version, which also comes with the G3 goggles. What are the G3 goggles? Well, these are more or less viewing goggles. What really powers this, let's pop the top, is you get a little monitor screen. I believe it's 48 channel monitor screen. Very simple to use. You switch the channels by pressing this button here. Hold down this button, this CH button, and it will scan through the channels to find the frequency your FPV transmitter is transmitting on. And you enter the menus, I believe, by pressing this button here, and you can adjust brightness and contrast believe this is contrast and this is brightness by pressing this button here. And once you get it turned on and set to the channel that you want, close it up and you can view it through here. So let's go for a flight of this thing and see how it performs. Hope you enjoy this flight. Okay, we are going to start off with an angle mode flight, line of sight, just to see how it flies. I'm turning on the transmitter. And the transmitter, I guess, is already bound because the lights stopped flashing. And I am in angle mode. And we are going to unlock the motors. I press the button there. And we should be ready to take off in angle mode. So slowly increasing the throttle. Are we indeed in angle mode? Yes, we are. Got a little bit of a drift there. Let me land it real quick. And disarming. What I want to do is calibrate the gyros, because I had a little bit of a drift there. Okay, let's take off again. That's better. Less drift. Let's see what it's like in terms of flyability. Now this new drone here has a 3S battery. So with that in mind, I want to bring it over here. Put it overhead and punch it. Yeah, it's got a little bit of punch there. Seems a tad heavy, not super punchy, but it does have punch. Let's bring it back toward me. We'll go a punch heading toward the mountains. Ready, set, punch. Yeah, it's got some punch from that 3S battery. So we'll bring it in here closely, and I didn't go over, this also has a flip button. I don't know what that beep was. Let's try that flip button. Where is that flip button? I'm trying to feel it. Whoa! Let's bring it closer so you see this. It does flips very quickly. I'll bring it in closer. Wow, okay. So how about, can it do rolling flips? Let's give it a little bit forward throttle or forward pitch. Yes, it can. Okay. Okay, before I use up too much more battery, let's bring it in and let's go into the Acro flying of this thing. See how it flies in Acro. Interesting quadcopter. Bring it in. And disarming. Okay, now remember, these MJXs have telemetry, so it'll warn us when we get too far out of range and also warn us when our batteries get slow. So we're going to listen for that while we're flying. But now let's try Acro. Okay, I am going to select Acro by moving this switch down like so. And I'm putting on my goggles. And these are the G3 goggles, again, with the stock monitor. We're going to try to fly with these. It actually looks pretty darn good, actually, the signal coming from this. And I am going to hit record on the video. I did not do that. Make sure I got recording going. And get our onboard recording going. Is it going? I'm not seeing that. Pressing the button once. Pulling it down. Unfortunately, my onboard recording does not seem to be recording because I'm not seeing the blinking light. But either way, I am recording via my VRD2 goggles, so we will see this. And let me put this on a little bit better, and let's arm the motors. Motors are armed. Let's take to the air in Acro. And I'm just going to take it easy first. It's definitely Acro. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. I don't know if this is Acro. It's got a little bit of leveling. But one way to find out, folks, is to go up. Yeah, I guess that is Acro. Whoa. That's definitely Acro because it let me flip. But it's got a little bit of self-leveling. I'm letting go of the stick. See how it levels a little bit? And it feels a little bit awkward. But with that in mind, let's fly this out here. It feels unusual, folks, the Acro. Whoa, it's... I don't know how to explain it, but it's the sticks. when I try to give it the sticks, there's some delay there before I feel any results in the Acro. I have to really overcorrect, and by then sometimes it's too late. So I'm going to take it easy. So this is kind of a beginner's Acro. Also, the range on my goggles is not very good. I heard a beep there. I guess that was warning me. I had to turn there because my goggles were getting a little bit weird. Now, I've seen somebody say that you can actually switch this back to angle mode. And actually, that's what I want to do. If I can find the button. Yeah, never mind. Oh, good Lord. Where's that button? I'm back at angle. Am I really in angle? Let's see here. I wasn't feeling comfortable, folks, flying this in Acro, so we're going to fly this in angle. That's better. This would not make a good Acro trainer. It's a good FPV trainer in angle mode. It seems to fly very well in angle. But in Acro, it just didn't feel, it's kind of scary. Let's just put it that way. But if you want to learn to fly FPV, yes. This is more than adequate and actually kind of nice. Where's that rate button? I think this is it here. Let's go around here. Oh, there we go. I can see the numbers that we are recording video. But I wasn't flying it very well there, folks. I tried to fly in an Acro, and I didn't feel comfortable with it. I didn't feel safe either. Let me put it that way. I was kind of worried. Let me land it for 1 second here. I want to land it for a second because I want to go to high rate. Where's that high rate button? Let's fly it around in high rate and see how it performs in angle mode in high rate. And take into the air again. See if I can get some speed on this thing. And again, I apologize, folks, but I'm not going to fly this anymore in Acro. It just didn't feel comfortable. But yeah, there we go. You want to get some speed on this thing and have some fun with it? Going a little too far. It's getting a little bit of a beep out there. Put it in angle. You can fly great with it in angle. Get some speed on it too. Whoa. I had a blackout there, folks, for a second on my goggles. That scared me. I actually had a blackout on the goggles, so I don't know what that was. I'm going to stay a little bit closer. So, wow. Yeah, my goggles just went black for a second there. Okay, let's try going faster again. Where's that flip button? Hey, you can flip too. I'm going a little too far out. I hear it. You hear those little beeps? Let me know I'm going a little bit too far. But it's an FPV trainer, folks. Mainly FPV trainer. I would not trust the Acro though. It's not really suitable for Acro flying. I think MJX will probably adjust the settings on that, but they need to fly this around and you'll see what I'm talking about. It just didn't feel right. Okay, I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to land it, and I'm going to finish it off by flying at line of sight. So let's bring it down. I'm looking for my landing pad there on the ground. It's around here somewhere. I don't want to land on those rocks either. Okay. Where's that on-off switch? There we go. Okay, now I'm going to finish this off in line of sight flying just for the fun of it. And I'll take those goggles back, my love. And let me put my glasses on. And we'll go over here and do some line of sight flying until we lose the battery. So, yeah, my thoughts on that FPV line of sight is the way you want to fly this. It can fly Acro, but Acro's kind of weird. I'm just sorry, it just doesn't feel right. Where am I at? I was going, which way's the front? I was looking at the back and thought the back was the front and the front was the back. But let's fly it around. Oh yeah, it's a fun acro or fun angle flyer. Can do a heck of a funnels. Let's bring it in and show you that. Where's that flip button again? That flip button is a weird spot. There we go. I gotta get my finger on that flip button so I can feel it. So let's bring it down and around. Cool, huh? Yeah, you can feel the power of those 3S. See what I mean? You can hear the power of the 3S. So definitely a sporty flyer in angle mode. The goggles, I wanted to do more sports with this. I'm hearing beeping coming from the quadcopter, and I'm hearing beeping on this. So that's telling, and I couldn't do any more flips. So it's time to land this thing. So let's go over our landing pad here, and we'll give final thoughts on this thing. Lights are blinking too. So that's the flight time we get from this. Let's bring her in. Yeah, that's good enough right there. And disarming. And unplugging. So, I guess MJX intended this to be a intro to FPV and intro to Acro. It does intro to FPV very well, you know, if you're in angle mode, but that Acro mode just wasn't realistic feel to it, okay? It was definitely angle mode because I could do rolls on that, but I'd have to overcorrect a lot it wasn't smooth control from these controls in angle or in Acro, unfortunately. But in angle mode, yeah, this is a very sporty little flyer. Very fun. A lot of fun, especially with that 3S battery. So that's my review of the MJX RC Bugs 8 Pro. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.